All right. Everybody knows how to raise your hand. This is a Q&A for leaders training. Here on the, what is the date? The 12th, the 13th. I hit you with two real quick trainings here tonight. And some of you that may have been just a repeat. But over this past week, I've gotten so many questions and helping people that many of you that are in many of your leaders group, and that was the gist of the questions. I had to use what I taught you tonight. I had to use those with them. And the other thing I want to teach you to do is learn how to do a Zoom, because when I was able to get on a Zoom, pop on a Zoom, just let them see my page, like the website, and show them where to go on 7K. Even that's a public site, but show them where to go on 7K today to get their answer as we were just talking. It saved me tons of time. And the same thing with spot and gold, silver and gold prices. I've just been kind of inundated with a lot of new people coming in. They all have this same question. And I've been kind of previewing some of the chats and things like this. And I see that question answered all the time. So I wanted to put together a quick little 101 for y'all to use as a video to help you, use that to, so that, because you can't send them the buyer certification training. Yes, sir, Todd, you got the hand up, and you always get the hand up first. See, that's a leader. They always have a question. Yes, sir, brother. Just unmute yourself.
Yeah, Bob, thanks again for doing this for all of us. And I've got, I don't know, about half this room is people that are in my downline. So I'm really glad to see that my team is continuing to step up and want to absorb what you're offering, and you making yourself available week after week to do this. We appreciate you much. My question is this gets asked a lot, or actually the question doesn't get asked a lot, but it should. What happens is somebody enrolls, they're brand new, they're excited, their package hasn't arrived yet, they haven't watched any videos that you've done or any videos that I've done, but they've gone out and they've talked to 10 people, and 3 days later they call you back and they say, I can't get anybody interested, I don't know how I'm ever going to go down. Will you tell these people what the right thing to do after they've ordered is? And if you're gonna say something to somebody about this, A, should you, before you know what you know or don't know? And B, if you are gonna say something, what should you say just to pique that interest? I know you have full videos on this, but just a short Bob Reid clip here, like an elevator thing.
Yeah, great question, Todd. And yeah, I've got a lot of videos on this. We basically tell people until they have got their onboarding, they got to watch their basic training videos, to not even talk to anyone, to make their list of 25 people. And because we are going to talk to the people together with you. See, this is the whole base of our building our business. I'm the one that called up people to have a meeting. I never even told them what we were meeting about. I just told them it was urgent. I called more than 15 people, but only 15 people showed up that Friday night at George's house. And at that night is the only time they found out, and I played a video. I put some coins in their hand, I asked the question, and this is the training. So number one, we tell people, do not talk to anybody, because you don't know what to say. You're going to mess it up, and you're going to mess it up for them, because they could be your presidential goal, and you don't want to mess it up for them. And we will teach you how to pique somebody's interest, how to share this opportunity with someone else. And we also are gauging that person's strength when we're doing that. Like, I didn't have to, let me give the example, Wayne Clark. I didn't have to do that with Wayne Clark, but I did. He already had skills, attitudes, and techniques. He already came with a years of background in networking while he was doing real estate. Yet he knew not to go say anything to anyone until we had the basic lines picked out that he wanted to share this with over phone, and that he picked out his leaders. So the key is this: you've got to write down your top 25 people you want in your business, you love the most and care the most. That's your number one job while you're watching onboarding and getting started, and the videos about how to get your app on, and also going through the FAQs. They've got to do their homework. Otherwise, they mess their own opportunity up. We do tell everybody in my group knows that. We all know not to talk to anyone until we've gotten that, or we're doing it together with your sponsor or someone in your upline. Okay. Like when I went to Gary and Hawaii, very experienced, knowledgeable networkers, knowledgeable people in the industry, knowledgeable in Gary Goslin, knowledgeable in gold and silver. And, we still did Zooms like this. We still did training as we are sharing with those very beginning people. We did this on that same basis. A few people, getting a few people, getting a few people, and those people getting a few people. You got to build it that way. Otherwise, they mess up the opportunity. Great question, Todd. We do tell them not to talk to anybody.
Thank you. That's the hardest thing I think for people to do, is to just button that lip and relax for a few minutes. They all feel like they got to get that $500 paycheck 30 seconds after they've got their membership sign up done. And I just think that you end up shooting yourself in the foot. And I think the thing that I hear more often than not is, I can't get them to talk to me again. Well, it's because you said something that turned them off, as opposed to the thing that piqued the interest, like Bob said. I think that's really critical. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's it. You got to do things that pique interest. And we teach you those skills. Yes, sir, Kim.
Just checking in on last week's question. If you were able to find out from Corp if we would be able to monitor our team with the registration in Vegas.
What was that now, Kim?
If we'd be able to know who on our team registered for Vegas, in case, for accountability wise.
Oh, no, they can't do that. I wish I could, but I haven't talked to Jason about it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But
don't worry, Bob. I'll be on it like white on rice, man.
Yeah, I know. I really wish it could be done. I wish they could. I wish they could put a little mark. I'll tell you what I did. You just made me think of a suggestion that I think I could get. I'm going to talk to Jason about it. I'm going to say, how we pull up our downline,
mm-hmm.
and we click on a person's name? They might be able to put in there that they're registered for the convention.
That's a great idea.
And so, we've got a few things on that in our wish list already that we want added to that little block, that information block. And I don't know if they can get that done at the same time that we need it. But yeah, it would be a great idea. But I'll tell you what they tell us, and it's kind of true, Kim. All of our members are so excited that they're going with us. They call us and tell, hey man, I registered, I'm there. And I just kind of make a note of, you know, people I've sponsored in one that, hey, they're going, I got this on my team. And then I like to start, Gary and many of our groups, we start what is called a group telegram or a group text of all the people that's going to go, so we can communicate with each other all at one time. and I'm seeing that I need to start doing that in advance, and knowing who's going to be there would be a good thing to do. So I'll give that a shot. I hadn't talked to Jason about it, and I haven't.
No worries. I mean, it can be done through the band. I mean, it can be done through the band or anything like that. It's just I want to be accurate on who's going to attend the breakout.
Kim, band is private. That is our thing. That corporate doesn't even know I run a band.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want them to know.
Okay.
I'm saying, yeah. And see, sometimes I don't want stuff recorded. That's why it's a private band. You only get there by invitation, and you are only to invite people on your left and right, period. No one else. If they're not on your left and right, you should not invite them to the band app. Okay. See, now Todd, he has a lot of flexibility. He got lots of people on his left and right. He didn't invite anybody in there, okay? And we want everybody in his group in his Todd Father app. We want everyone else, like an Andy's group and anyone else, in the Go for Go app that I have. And we've got the Phoenix and New Mexico team. They have the Dream Team app. Then we got the 7K Hawaii Ohana team. We got their app. And I got another one. I got two others, okay? So we separate, we kind of keep the people, their information, because many times what's going to happen is like Todd, he does a lot of his own trainings, and that's what we want. We want leaders to develop. Kim, as you develop and you become your gold and your silver, you still will want to be part of the Todd Father app, but you may make your own app for your team. And so you'll have things that just go on between you and your team, okay?
We already have.
You'll still want to be part of the Todd Father app.
We already have.
This is the way I conceive putting this thing together. And let me tell y'all, this band app is the best thing ever, because I was running emails of over 1,000 people, and I had to go buy commercial emailing and you know, I know the company used them. I used that too, and I couldn't stand it because it kept messing up things on me. And so, and I got to where I didn't even have the time. Band, man, you just post things, you put it there, and then and everybody knows this is not something you post comments on. This is for the leaders, whoever's that band leader, they're the only ones posting there. You can comment and you can chat, but you are not to post on the band app. Other people are not to post on that band app, okay? It's not a social media thing, in other words. It is strictly informational and training and updates for our stuff. Okay. Yes, sir, Don.
Yeah, Bob, you mentioned something about doing the Zoom calls, and I know that I'm having problems just figuring out some of the basics of how to do that. I did set up an account, and I had one tonight, but we ran into some technical problems with it, and I'm just wondering, is there any trainings out there for just the basic part of
Absolutely,
Zoom?
Absolutely. Zoom's got their own trainings. Hey, look, I'm not that technically proficient myself. Okay.
I went through
my old days of technical provisions back in the 36070, IBM 36070 computer days, not this new stuff. But I've learned everything myself. When I started my Zoom, I had to learn. Zoom has their own tutorials. So just go into your Zoom account, Go in there, and they got people that will help you, and they do training all the time. So I suggest that's where you get it. You know, if you got somebody that works with you on your team that learn people, that what's the best way to learn this stuff? People telling people, well, hey, look, they changed the way we swipe. How do you get this thing? And somebody next to you said, oh, you just do this, and now you just learned, right? And that's the way it is with Zoom. You're going to learn. Go get the basics from Zoom. That's where everybody gets them. If somebody knows Zoom real well and somebody wants to do Zoom training, that's another type of kind of group leadership thing people can do. But I'm not going to teach Zoom. I have enough problems trying to figure it out myself. I teach what I know. Okay. Any other hands here? I don't want to miss anybody. Got a couple of screens here. People. I see. Yes. Okay. Can you unmute yourself? If you're on a phone, you'll have a little menu at the bottom of your phone. If you touch it, right at the bottom of the screen, you're still not unmuted yet.
Got it now.
There you go.
Bob, Leon, I had a opportunity today to talk with an individual, and it's someone I had spoken to in the past about seriously considering joining 7K. And then the comment came back, well, I looked at your products, but when I do a comparison between what 7K is pricing their coins, their silver coins at, and the silver coins that I can buy at SD Bullion, then I'm just buying coins from SD Bullion. And I said, so what price are you paying? Well, anywhere from $24 to $26. And I said, it's not silver. Oh, yeah, it is. I said, no, it's not silver. And I said, let me show you something. So I went on, brought up the SD Bullion on my phone, and I said, okay, let's look at this coin right here, because in this one that you've purchased? And he said, yes. And I said, let's read the narrative and see what it says. And so we did. And I said, that coin is a 1 troy ounce coin. That coin has 331.10348 grams of silver. Doesn't have ounces, it's got grams. I said, do you know what that coin is worth? And he said, no. And I had my thumb down at the bottom covering it. I said, that coin is worth somewhere between $3 and $5. And you're paying how much for it? And he said, oh. And I said, so you're not getting a deal at all. Well, somebody will buy them. And I said, yeah, for $3 or $5, they'll buy them. And you pay 26 for it, or 28 for it, or 24 for it. So where's the win-win there? And he said,
Leon,
yes.
I don't want to. One troy ounce is 31.1 grams.
Yeah. Right.
So it was 0.311.
No, it was 31.10348 grams of silver.
Yeah, that's a troy ounce of silver.
Yeah,
that's
is a troy. But when you compare that to what we get when we buy like a 1 ounce coin or a 2 ounce coin, I think you're going to find that you've got better value with 7K than you are a coin that's not a 100% silver coin.
Well, if it's not 100% silver, but I'm familiar with, now see, JM Bullion and SD Bullion and Kitco and AppMax are what I consider trusted sources.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I have over 100 10-ounce silver bars that I bought from SD Bullion ages ago.
Okay, here's what I want to do to address your statement for everybody else too. I gave this
Okay.
training for you tonight in the beginning, okay, with Bullion 101, but not in the
Right.
beginning, the second part. That's the training I gave there. And I even addressed the fact that from day to day or week to week,
Right.
bullion can be less expensive at SD Bullion or JM Bullion or Kitco or APMEX than it is at 7K. But then
Sure.
there's going to be just the next week or the next shipment that comes in. It's going to turn around and we're going to have the lowest bullion until everybody gets an inventory in their warehouse where
Right.
everybody has inventory and they're not sold out as soon as
Yeah.
they get it. This will continue to happen. Okay. But as
Sure.
soon as we get back to that inventory, that equilibrium state of supply, production, inventory, then we will again have the lowest bullion price. For 4 years, we did. I mean,
Yeah.
the only times we didn't is somebody put a fire sale on that day.
Yeah,
And
no.
many times they did. But we do have, but that's not the point. The point I want to get to, I wanted to address that first. Here's the point. Here's what you say to someone like that, where they do have it. We say, we understand. I totally understand. But JM Bullion and SD Bullion will never pay you to buy bullion from them, will they?
Right. No, they don't.
Yeah. 7K educate you and pay you and give you tax dollars back to buy gold and silver. Let me send you a little video to explain what I mean. This is how you handle that question.
Yeah, no.
And you send them the 15-minute Courtney Epps video that I put up there for everybody.
Right. Well,
and you use my verbiage that I have there, that 7K is the best one to get in, and it helps you buy gold and silver. And so I'm Leon, and what I'm doing is I'm training everybody else here. Okay.
No, and I understand that, but I bought another 100-ounce bar last week from 7K. But before I bought that bar from 7K, I went online to SD and two others, wrote down what the cost of their bar was, which was a similar bar to what 7K was offering. And by the time I sat down and looked at the differential in price, and yes, 7K was not the cheapest. But when I set that back at it and I looked at it and I said, okay, but this is a write-off for me. And I'm being paid back. This is going to be my better option is to buy from 7K. And that's why I now have 7 100-ounce bars in my safe. And they all came from 7.
That's why I want you to use what I was sharing is the discussion and not get into the comparison game. Go ahead and recognize that this is the ammunition that I'm giving everybody now, that we're in this supply shortage situation, and we will not always have the lowest price of bullion, but we always have. Look, I've shared with quite a few people many times. A few weeks ago, in fact, I still got it sitting right here on the floor. I hadn't put it in a big safe yet. I bought a monster box of American Eagle silver coins.
Okay.
And I bought them from JM Bullion because and 7K had them in stock at that time, but JM Bullion's was a better price. I mean, I saved significant money.
Right.
I call $40 significant money.
Well, yeah,
me, I'd buy another ounce of silver with that. Well, anyway, and then I bought tubes. I bought, I don't know, I think 10 tubes of Buffaloes, or no, 30 tubes of Buffaloes, 1 ounce. And I bought those from SD Bullion. They had the single best price I'd seen in a long time. And so I bought those from, because I wanted more silver. I didn't want to have that paper money in my hand. I wanted more silver. I'd rather have it sitting in silver than paper. And so I bought that. But now when I'm buying things that I'm going to vault, I always buy it from 7K, because there's nowhere else in the world that gives you free storage.
No. I totally agree. I totally agree.
And that right there, that flexibility of getting that portfolio and to be able to store some that's fully guaranteed is worth the membership price alone. If a person is a gold and silver buyer. And so if they're already a gold and silver buyer, that benefit alone is worth the membership. And if a person doesn't see that, then they just don't understand enough yet.
No, they don't. The one thing I have, and I'll say this and I'll shut up. The one thing I have in my safe that money can't buy is my granddad. When I was born in 1946, my granddad started putting in a lock box that he had. He started putting silver dollars in there, and these silver dollars go back to the date that silver dollars were first minted, and I've got 118 of them. And have a friend who knows that I had them, and he said, "What would you sell them for?" And I said, "You just sold your insurance agency, which was about the largest insurance agency in Wilmington, and you ain't got enough money." And he said, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Not only do they have value from the silver value, but they have an awful lot of special value, because my granddad was probably my most favorite person in the whole wide world."
That's true.
So no, we're not getting. Yeah. So anyhow.
you do have that's part of legacy and part of that. That's a big, you should, get those dates, take pictures, the mint marks, look those up, because you just might have some extremely valuable coins. You don't know.
I know I do, because some of them are in perfect shape and some are fairly worn, but there still has that silver value even in the worn, because they wouldn't be worth a lot, I don't think, as a coin itself, but I got a lot that do have value from the coin itself. So, but thanks, Bob. Thanks for all you do for us. Really appreciate it.
Okay. Anyone else? Another question? If y'all have questions, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to let y'all go to work. I'm going to be here to answer your questions, but if you don't have questions, I'm going to cut it off.
Gary has a question, Bob.
Yes, Dorita. Who?
Gary Katz.
Gary. Okay, I missed him. Where's he at?
Right here.
Okay. Gary, yes, sir. I see you.
I want to go back to Todd again tonight, like I did last week. I made that mistake. I got too excited and talked to a few people before. And thanks, Todd, because teach your team that. That's what I teach everybody now.
Yeah.
It's live and learn and learn by other people's mistakes. And so I just wanted to throw that in.
Thank you, Gary. Yeah. And just because you tell people to do that doesn't mean that they're going to do it either. But still, they won't ruin their opportunity. They get to pass it off.
Yeah.
They get to go back at them. We have ways that we teach you to go back at them.
That's why we have follow-ups, right?
That's right. That's exactly right.
Okay. Bob, before you go off, Bob, I wanted to answer Kim's question, because I think it's very vital. We're calling the company, or Jason, because we really want to know how many people go. And so I like the way the system went, how we did it this past year. But I want to share, 7K is really new, so they don't have that big system. It's not big enough yet so that they can switch like this or switch like that and just make things happen to where they can calculate how many people or trail how many people is going to go to convention. So it's just pray for them that they'll get up to speed.
Actually, the reason I asked that question, like I come from the financial industry, okay? And most of these companies in the financial industry have a leaders bulletin where people come on, they sign on. Like, let's say we have the Gold Rush contest. They actually have a bulletin to see who lead that contest and how they lead that contest. So it creates a stronger competition spirit among the team members that run for the contest. That's the only reason why I asked. Just like I have reserved a breakout room at Vegas. I expect to have our team to have 100 people attended. Right now we have about 15 registered, but I understand that to know also to prepare, because there's a lot of preparation behind. I'm probably going to dump $5,000 to $10,000 in this convention just in recognition. Okay, so I had to know that, make sure the people and who's going to be there to be recognized, those kind of things. So to us, that's very important. I mean, it's how I learned how to build. I don't know how to build any other ways.
I built like that. A company that we are in right now is very advanced. So, but what I was sharing is that they're not as advanced as everybody else yet. But once they start getting it, they will do it. I just wanted to share that for some people who didn't really understand that they're not up to par with the system yet.
That's
but
right.
they will get it. I tell you, once this company gets it, they'll be bypassing everybody.
Yeah, they will get there with the administrative management programs, but they just don't have them yet, to be honest with you. And their whole focus is making sure our comp plan and our volume and payroll and shipment and accounting between that is what that whole program and department works on. They do. We've got lots of ideas for suggestions on more information that we can have. I've even given them exactly how they can put the tree back in. And because in my last one of my companies that I consulted for, I showed the programmers how to do that, but that takes programming time. And so you can load it up, and then you go down and you do 50 levels at a time. And then you can reload it, and you can search and you start. So you can see the entire tree instead of seeing just the downline, which most people do not know. I mean, it's difficult for me to replicate the tree from that downline explorer. So I only use it for the way I teach it, for the answers to the questions. But by the way, they had a leaders board for the Gold Rush contest where they put everybody's score up and you got to see, and I'm sure they're going to do that, but they write a sub-routine program for that is what they do. And so they probably just don't have it done yet, but they will have. They will. Well, at least they did in the past.
Don't worry, Bob. Our team is manageable at this point. I think I can figure out the points.
But I like your suggestion, knowing who is registered for the convention. That's the part I would like to have myself. I think that's a good thing. Yes, Kathy, you got your hand up.
Hey, okay, so I want to know if there's some kind of a training. We tell people that this is the most affordable price. I mean, except for what's going on right now with COVID and the price, the silver shortage. This is the most affordable price ever for people, and also to get 1099 tax benefits if they have a job. Now, I'm someone who doesn't know squat about taxes. I always just send in my W-2 and all my information to the tax preparer. He takes care of it. I've never paid attention. So is there a training that breaks this down, how that works?
Yeah, I've got several of them on YouTube, and
Okay,
I don't
good.
know if I've got them in the band app, but everybody knows on our team here that, look, if you can't find something, go to my YouTube site, especially, and Bob Reid, REID, 7K Metals, and you can search things from playlists to subjects. I have like 370 something trainings on my
Okay.
YouTube site, and
That's great.
that's only the active ones. I've deleted a lot of the old ones or turned them
Okay,
off
awesome.
because I didn't want to.
And then you
confuse
say,
people.
and you specified they get the tax benefits if they have a job. So I need to keep my job for
Well,
now.
they get the tax benefits anyway, but they have withholdings, and there's lots of examples. I have quite a few on my YouTube. It's under tax, and
All right,
I've got
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
But we don't say we have the lowest price. We say we have the affordable we make gold and silver affordable to the average person for the first time in history, because see, they can't buy $10 worth of gold bullion, American Eagle gold coin, the preferred coin. They can't buy $10 worth at SD Bullion or anywhere else. They can buy it in their sound money wallet, and it's bought incrementally, and then they accumulate it. And if they want, they can have it shipped to them in 1 ounce quantities, or they can just leave it there until they get enough. And then if they want to sell it back, they can click at a button, sell it back. That's where that statement is from. And so everyone needs to delineate between see, it takes time. This is the skills, attitudes, and techniques that I talk about in my system.
Mm-hmm.
If one will allow themselves 2 years to learn while they're being paid to accumulate gold and silver, and they don't get frustrated at themselves, they're not making $500 a week, or they're not becoming an executive gold as fast as Todd did. Well, I'm still not executive gold. I've been doing this for 5 years. And so, see, that's part of the system. Attitude. Everyone can succeed at this company and this business if they allow themselves to. They're their own worst enemy. Look in the mirror. You're your own worst enemy. Yes, Ku'ule.
I have a question. So Hawaii's coming up with a bunch of renewals, right, in March.
Yep.
So if a person decides, well, they're not right now purchasing a monthly coin, so they're inactive, but they have a team below them, and then come March they don't renew their membership, what happens to their team? Where do they go? They
stay right where they're at, and then
okay.
you are the one that should be reaching down in there ahead of time, developing relationships. That's what I call leapfrogging.
Right.
Leapfrog.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got that. But what happens
now?
But
wait a minute, Ku'ule. You asked a great question. Let me give it a full answer. I have a training, and it's on a video to specifically what you need to do to these people that have a organization below them. They have so many points coming up every week or every month, and they haven't been buying a coin, so it's been inactive. That's all been floating right through them. But you can show them the value of the dollars that they will be having if they buy a coin, and you show them that they're not even buying it with their own money. They're buying it with tax dollars from their job, and learn. And so go find that video and get good at it. because the people who do that the most, this is why in the first 3 years, before I started doing a lot of, when I was building and helping and teaching, I had the highest retention rate in my group in the whole company. Because see, we did that to everybody. That's part of our follow-up. We had the highest renewal rates because we talked with everyone, and I taught that. But now, you know, that's why I started doing the training I did the other day in leaders. I said, a lot of my stuff is not getting duplicated anymore. And that's a shame, because then their groups become typical network marketing companies instead of like mine, with high retention rates and with people earning money, and because they allow themselves to develop the skills and they allow themselves to learn. And until we teaching that, see, many people don't get it, that is my system. That's the system. It's not the mechanics of the comp plan and thing. You know, a lot of people can teach that, you know, once they learn it.
The people under them are still buying a coin.
The system is how to make a team function together and make commitments that you're working as a one another team, that you're working together and you're in it for the long haul. As George says, when George Donaldson, what did he say all the time? I'm a 7K lifer. See, George Donaldson and Woodrow Wilson, 2 people older than me, sponsored on my left team. All 4 people I sponsored that night on the phone. Everybody's still in the business with me, except the 2 that died.
Yeah, that's another. Yeah, even the people that die, that's another thing.
Well, if they die, it goes to their family, or we can transfer the site, transfer the membership to somebody who wants to build it.
Okay. And
see, we're in charge of that. So I tell people in my training school, like, yeah, y'all are coming up. Yeah, PSI group is going to be coming up to this. So this is the major part where you really make big bucks. And you can also lose tons if you don't do it right, because you don't want all your renewals happening on the first of the month, following the month that they were doing. That's why I try to teach y'all this ahead of time, that you can start looking and learning how to do this and how to print your screens off and get your work list for the month like I do. Okay. Now, I don't do this on both. Do I do this on my bank side? I don't even look at it. Okay. I don't even look at, I don't look at it on either side of me. You know who I do this for? My wife, on her side. And I only have to do it on one side of her. The rest of it, I don't have to worry about, because why? Got all the volume is there. So, and so I've got these videos. The key is learning how to find them. I'm trying to give you this training that y'all are looking in advance and trying to get this training, but I am redoing them. That's what I'm doing here in the leadership training. If you'll notice, I'm starting to redo and update them. So that's why I'm doing the leadership training now. So I will be giving another session on that.
Flush, tightly clenched structure that ensures the staples lie flat.
What was that?
Thank you, Bob.
Okay. Did that answer your question though, Kuile?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Kim.
Quick question. I was looking through what you were saying on the YouTube on your site. You wouldn't happen to know maybe what the name of that video is? It inactive members, or is it roll up, or what is it?
Well, actually, I've got that on the Band app also, and it's if you'll scroll down in it, and it's how do you turn your inactive members into active members? Let me look. Let me do this.
So
let me look on the bank.
Maybe, I don't know if this is an appropriate question it's going to take time, but does the system compress if someone is inactive and doesn't want to become active?
Yes, that's the whole part of if someone drops out,
mm-hmm.
if someone drops out, their spot just becomes a null, a nothing. It like an electricity switch. All the points just flow right through it up to the next person. They don't stop there anymore and go into the counter. If they're inactive, the same thing happens. If they have sponsored people, then they become canceled, and their spot is let's see. Let me do two things. I'll show you that. Pictures tell more, but let's look for what you are talking about. How to turn. See, I'm just scrolling down through the post, everybody.
You can also type in that search bar inactive and it might come
up. Maybe, but I don't think so. Let's see.
I think that's the wrong bar. That's the entire band.
Oh, wow. I went to the whole
page.
Yeah, I went to the whole band.
So just the top of your page is where your search is.
Oh, there it is. We'll give it a try. I bet that was Kathy. Oh, Kathy.
That was Dana.
Dana. Oh, okay. Great.
She's responsible for me.
I got to. Here's a script or a text you can use with my latest training on how to activate. There it is. Yeah. How about that?
Okay. Got it.
Well, wait a minute. Let me just see. Oh, no, that's just a script. Okay. That's just a script. That's not the video that I was looking for. Video training of what to do. Let's see. Nope, it didn't bring it up. So I have to look in the post. Well, but all you do is scroll down. You'll find it by scrolling down, and it's quite a way.
So Go for Gold is your group, right? Go for Gold is your group.
Yeah, part of it's part of PSI, part of my other group, and part of Arkansas, because if Todd's whole group is under Todd File, so Andy doesn't have a band, so any of her people that wanted to go there, I just merged them with my other group that I already had there. So they all get the same training. We're getting close to it. Now, this is one everybody needs to master. I give you every possible scenario on cycling and on how the leadership points and loyalty points work.
I've watched it about 25 times already.
That was, you see, Kim, that's why you're going to be what I told you you're going to be. You don't just watch it once and think you got it mastered, or 2 or 3 times. Say, well, I think I understand. No, you got to understand. You don't think you understand. We getting close, I'm telling you.
We've had at least 6 people who enrolled themselves with a family pack, not with that because somebody told them, because they found your video on YouTube.
That's right.
There's 2 of them right now. There's 2 of them right now on the call right now. They actually enrolled themselves as a family pack, not because I told them about the family pack, but because they watched a video and found your video.
They watched the video, right? I love it. I love it. That's it. Okay, renewals. Let's see, urgent renewals due, don't wait. I got a video on that. Getting close to that. How to turn you inactive. Okay, Who asked me about the collectible coins? Why you want one every month? There's a video training on it right there. And it helps you answer the objections. I bet many of you haven't watched Bad. Essentials to duplicate, maximize your check by managing your renewals properly. See, I've trained on this over and over, but that's why I'm kind of disappointed that so many renewals are happening at the end of following the month. And it's cheating associates and coppers out of checks, and they don't even know it. It's because they're not, if they were educated enough, they'd be pushing their uplines. Hey, tell these people to renew down below me. They'd be looking at that too. Advanced building techniques. I bet some of you are seeing some how to interest people in the business building for the 7K that they just wanted to buy gold and silver. Believe me, there's not a subject I haven't taught on yet over this 5 years.
Can only imagine.
Oh, there's your, which ones are taxable and which ones aren't list.
Now, do we have access to the Go for Gold, or you have to be in a certain group to be access to Go for Gold?
Yeah, you're in the Todd Father, right?
Yes.
Well, just go down. They're all in there. Saying okay. There's nothing in here that's not in the Todd Father. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when we set them up, I made sure all the basics got in there. Okay. That was how we loaded up the Todd Father app. Well, I'll be doggone. I can't find it. It's in here though. I got more to go through.
Don't worry, Bob. I'll go through it. I'll find it.
Bob, I found the one Kool-Aid was talking about.
Yeah. Now notice on these things, you can click on the anything you have here like this. Well. And you can copy and paste it, and you can text it, and you can email it. How about that? How much easier can it get? It's kind of like your own 7K Wealth System app with my own training materials in it, everyone. And so you can copy and paste out of here and send it to people to help you, to help answer questions or objections. There's Roger Ball. We had a clip out of him. Well, I can't seem to find it. Let me stop here. Let me show that other thing that I wanted to show. And let's go back to the great old chart. Okay. Everybody's familiar with this chart for sure. Family business back or sponsoring a person who doesn't do anything. Okay, let's say this person drops out. Well, and let's say they sponsored this person down here. Okay, so this person was sponsored by that person. This person does not renew. It's just like a straight line is drawn from this person to this person. Everything goes through there like electricity. Nothing changes. That person no longer has a sponsor. So whoever sponsored this person is the sponsorship line. Let's say this person sponsored that person. Well, that person should assume the sponsorship role for this person. That's what I teach. But the company hasn't made this bridge yet. this is something in discussion.
Does that person, Bob, ever disappear? The one that's inactive, or is always going to remain there?
No, that slot remains there for legal purposes.
Okay.
In other words, they can't just compress it because they have to leave that name there just in case they go and join somewhere else in the company under somebody else other than their sponsor. And y'all see that in the policies and procedures.
Without the 6 months inactive.
Oh, well, whoa, no, it's
There's
1
no
year.
6 months.
It's 1 year.
Oh, 1 year. Okay.
Yeah. And inactive doesn't mean just inactive. It means you can't be in any Zooms, you can't be in any meeting, you can't be logging in on a website. Inactive means inactive.
Wow.
Okay. Because if you get caught having done any of that, then when you sign up again, that your old sponsor can insist that they sit out that year's worth of inactivity.
I see.
Okay. Well, that's just the way.
Would it be easier to just buy that position?
Well, you could before it goes inactive. It has to be renewed.
Oh,
so
okay.
Let's say what we try to do, what I teach is try and get that person to agree to transfer to another person. Because they're going to have to sign off on it. Their sponsor is going to have to sign off on it. There is a transfer process. Okay.
So if they sign off and they transfer and decide to join a different team, can they do that?
Oh, no, they can't do that.
Yeah. All right.
Not unless all the upline, all the upline and the downline, there's so many signatures. I forget what it changes. Todd, you may have a better handle on that than me. It used to be 4 signatures were required. You had your sponsor, your upline leader, and the people they sponsored all had to sign off and agree that that person could go somewhere else and not have to sit out 6 months.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think I'm going to come across that too often, but I'm sure one of these days it will happen.
You don't even want to fool with that stuff. It's a mess. Okay. But what you want to do is this. If a person's not interested and they're really going to give up, and they're going to give up, that's a pretty neat head start. But they still, when they start buying a coin, they still have to rank up to earn money. They still have to place people down underneath all these people. So none of these people are going to be upset that that position was transferred. In fact, they're going to love it. You know why? Because that person has to sponsor people all the way to the bottom left for them to rank up. Even to become an associate, they got to put one on their left, and then they got to put one on their right. So it's another people helping people. Okay, if they become a gold, then I know all these people are going to love it. Because they put 8 people down below them, and they had to have a silver down below all these people. So look at all the volume coming up. See, these are really my advanced training things. Hawaii hadn't even been in the business a year yet. PSI hadn't been in business a year yet, but PSI is experiencing some of these things because of the leadership of Todd and Phil and Andy. Okay. So they're on top of their business. I mean, they're on top of their business, just like you are, Kim. See, you're young into this business, 7K, but man, I know you're on top of it. And, and that's why, like Kim and Tarita and Gary and Kuale and so many other people here, that they're in this leadership training for this reason, to be able to get on top of their business the way they want to be. and to help their team, because it's going to do nothing but grow for the next 10, 15 years.
Hey Bob, don't say young. Don't say young too loud, man. My youngest is 23. My oldest is 33. Okay.
You just had kids. You had kids when you were a kid.
Bob, I have a question. So back to that chart, when you're speaking about dynamic compression, however, the personal enrollment does not change.
Nope. And
Okay.
this is something I am enlisting Todd and a whole bunch of other leaders. I want some changes this year. I want to try and help you and you future leaders. I want to help make the last, I think, facilitating event that we need to make to really make this comp plan the comp plan it needs to be. And
I talked to Jason about that when we were in Salt Lake.
Good.
Actually,
I need more leaders talking. We've got to have dynamic compression. It's just has to happen. And I had it in mind all along, but none of them have ever done a binary, and they were afraid this sucker. I mean, it was already the way they put it together in the beginning, and the first time they didn't quite listen to what I said, and they ended up paying 90 and 80% and 95%. Sometimes they paid 102% out. And you can't exist as a company when you pay that kind of money. So we ended up with the current comp plan we have now. And so it's designed to pay out 65%. And so and right now it has the ability that we can add some more little bells and whistles that I wanted to bring on, but it was just too early for anybody to even comprehend what I was trying to say. And so I hope we're able to accomplish it. If we don't, we'll be able to accomplish it later, y'all leaders, because eventually this needs to happen. You get too many orphaned people without sponsors, okay? And you really need to have that sponsorship line. So you should have dynamic compression in the sponsorship line. That's all you need it in. Okay, I'm glad we even talked about that subject. I'm perking people, because a lot of people are saying, what in the world are they talking about?
So Bob, your renewal is in the part of the emails that you sent us at the very beginning.
Yeah, and remember too, you can renew. Look at my trainings that I've given, right? You can renew anytime. You don't have to wait till the year. Yep. And y'all need to start learning about maximizing your commission check. I've seen too many people that end a week, like let's say they're a copper and they have 950 points and they have no leadership points. So what happens? They cycle, get a $500 check, and 450 points goes to loyalty. Well, that's good if you want. It takes a lot of points to get some free silver. I'd go renew one of my business family pack centers below me early, get 50 points, and get a $500 check. My early renewal was free, and I got a $500 check instead of 450 loyalty points. Well, what if I've got a position down there and mine is like you and I do, Tarita? All of our positions are $4.99. Okay. So what if I need 150 points? Man, I don't mind going out and getting my, hey, look, I could show a few people mine. I was showing Wayne the other day. I got 2, 3, 4 centers that are 3 years. I'm renewed for 3 years in a row. I got 3 more years to go on that center. But guess what? I got a $500 check instead of getting loyalty points that week. Hey, and I've got some family members in this business. I don't mind helping them give them a free renewal if it makes me a $500 check. Uh-oh, I see Kim's brain is just turning.
No, Bob, I apologize, but I had to leave because I got to go sign up a family pack on the West Coast right now.
No, you go do it. No,
right.
Anybody's got to go leave. But these are the kind of discussions I was hoping to have with leaders that ask these questions, because this is where you learn how to, and I've given trainings on optimizing your check every week. These are the kind of trainings y'all need to just get down pat until you understand and ask questions on the Q&A here. Yes, Keola. Keola? Keola?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, gotcha.
Thanks so much for bringing that up. So let me just clarify, you know, with, say your renewal date is, say, in April, but you decide you want to do that strategy that you just talked about. So say I would go ahead and I would renew my, my membership. Instead of in April, I renew it in February and generate those points that I need, you know, to maximize my volume. And then my start date, which my start date for my membership remains the same. And I've just pushed it out for the next year. Like you said, you're pushed out 3 years going forward.
Yeah.
Right.
You never change your original anniversary date. It always stays the same. And
Understood.
It's in year increment. It stays it. Doesn't matter if you renew it 6 months in advance.
Yeah.
You just good. Let's say yours is November 15th and you renew in July. Okay. Well, your renewal is going to be November 15th the next year. Okay. It's just going to push it out another year. It's just like your marriage date. It's just like the date you join. It's your anniversary date, never changes. Okay.
Understood. Thank you, Bob.
And I have a couple of videos, and they're in that band app on how to maximize your check, and that's covered in it.
Amazing.
And I'm a little bit more detailed now about multiple year renewals than I was previously.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, just to make sure you understand, Keola, and everybody else, when you renew, you get no points. It's just like when you join, you have no points posted to your account. What we're talking about is renewals below you and getting them to come up to your counter where you need points, like a business family pack. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure everybody understands it. I won't go somebody going to renew early and then they didn't get any points and they said, well, where to put? You see your points immediately posted. As soon as you do this, you're going to see those points in that counter on your dashboard. Okay. In your scorecard. Okay. Hey, let me let y'all get to bed and some of you to get to work because Hawaii is just prime working time right now. Hey, y'all have a blessed evening and a great day and a fabulous